So Roland is asking, what is the significance of the head and body movements by the Jews when praying at the remaining wall of the ancient Roman fortress?
Jay, are you going to take that one?
Oh, I thought you were going to have that one, but I did actually research it a little bit. So if you're not ready, I can
Yeah,
take it.
go for it.
Okay, so um, the answer is in part. So when it comes to the temple, like the Jewish temple, that retaining wall is the last part of the structure that's remaining. You remember that Jesus prophesied that there wouldn't be a stone left of the temple, and that is correct. There's not one stone remaining of the temple itself, but there is this part of a retaining wall. So this part that sort of holds up a side of like a bank and little hillside. So there's this retaining wall, and historically there's another reason why the Jews tend to go there, which is the Muslims on there is one of the most holy sites where there is a mosque built there, uh, or very early on in Islam. They believe that Muhammad had a vision, was taken up high up into heaven, and had a conversation with God there. And so they claim the top part, and there's sort of been between conflict and arrangement, a lot of history there. Jews basically have access to the retaining wall. Now, why do they pray there? It appears that I think it's largely going to be, especially the Hasidic Jews, my understanding is. So some of these very conservative Jews, certain rabbis have suggested praying there because the belief is, while no place is necessarily holy, that's a little bit closer to where more light has been shown. So it just helps them feel like they get a little bit closer to God. I'm not doing a great job of explaining it, but it's not a biblical reason. It's more like some rabbis have suggested that they go pray there, and then there's that sentimental value that this is the closest thing to what they have left of the great temple. So those are the main reasons.
Do you know what the head and body movements have to do with it?
And then with the head and body movements, that I am not familiar with. Yeah. Understand. Okay, yeah. So I know for them that there have been, I think, long traditions of how to pray, like the taking the wave sheaf and then you wave it. And sometimes I think the prayers look familiar to that, but I'm speaking out of complete ignorance, and I'm curious to know that as well. So if you do know a Jewish friend, or if you are Jewish and can explain that, please chime in the chats and educate us.